Today we're at St. Lawrence Market at one of our new build retail locations. It's Marché Marie. They're opening a new flagship location here. It used to be a deli shop. Now it's fully transformed into this beautiful French bakery. We were brought on as the architect of record, partnering with the interior designer. An architect of record is typically the architect that's local, that comes on site, helps submit for the building permit application, reviews it for code compliance, and makes sure in construction that things are being done up to code, can pass permits, and then fully close for the completed renovation. Typically, an interior designer brings on an architect of record because they need the expertise of a building code expert. These market stalls are in really big buildings, and that does require an architect with a stamp, with the right qualifications to make sure that they can obtain those building permits. Like, we got it pretty quick. So like working with us, you're able to get this permit within a week, which is very important for retail. Every day you're not open, you're losing money. So we got it done once. We coordinated with the mechanical engineer. They got their drawings. We made sure that they're done well. And then we submitted it. Within a week, we got the permits issued. But if you don't work with a skilled team, you're gonna have a lot of revisions, questions, pushback from the city. And then every time they kick it back to you, it's another cycle, right? Another week, another 2 weeks. And then you correct it, and then you get it wrong, another week, another 2 weeks, right? So that adds up, and it could turn from a 1 week permit to several months. Definitely wanna make sure you're working with a good team. I guess one of the challenges when it comes to a project like this is working with not only the buildings department getting a building permit, but also the building operators. So in this case, it's St. Lawrence Market. There's a lot of different checkpoints that you need to consider tying into the base building, right? So what is the existing plumbing? Something as silly as a sink has a lot of code implications to that. It used to be a deli. It has a sink, but there isn't any grease coming through it. When it's a cafe, there's like creams, there's different like fats and oils that go down the sink. Now you need a grease trap. It matters what's being put down the drain, and then that matters in terms of like the type of plumbing you're using, and then that has implications on the permits we need. Often we'll get a question, it's like, what kind of permits do you need when it comes to a commercial project? HVAC is typically needed for ventilation, for like a cafe, new food, cooking. Plumbing for reconnecting the sinks, grease traps, water lines and drains. When it comes to like illegal plumbing done without a permit, the venting is often the most commonly missed. Sprinklers, that could have potentially been a requirement. So we started covering up the ceiling area and the sprinklers weren't exposed. If you had a covered ceiling here, it would prevent the sprinklers from activating and then putting out the fire. So we need to redesign the sprinkler system. People might wonder like, oh, why don't we just cover the ceiling? It's like, well, you're actually adding costs, not only on the design, but on changing the sprinkler system. So as a result, we told people involved that we wouldn't change the ceiling so that we wouldn't need a new sprinkler design, potentially fire alarms, depending on how you're connecting into the main building, and then obviously architectural and building permits. So there's a lot of different systems when it comes to commercial work. You want to make sure that you intentionally design for it, or you work with us so that we can help you avoid triggering certain scopes of work if you don't intend to do that. But yeah, I really do enjoy retail design, commercial design. It's a lot of fun. In my design career, I have worked with some top brands like Audi on a project with Shopify. They were doing a creator hub, so then it had like a cafe component, a retail component, an office component. Done projects with Upgrade Labs, so that's like a biohacking space. I think we enjoy when there's a lot more millwork component to it. A lot of this is product and equipment that we're bringing in, and it's just kind of like laid out. Interior design, millwork design, there isn't a ton. Our job as the architect is kind of some of the key work when it comes to making sure this place is ready to be built. It's a lot of appliance, equipment coordination, and then making sure that you're tying into the base building services. You want to work with us as architects who are skilled in understanding how to get things to be code compliant, get things done and built at the end of the day, and not just a pretty design. This is one of many ways that you can work with us at BuildX Design. Yes, we do multiplexes, but we also do all types of projects, including commercial, retail, industrial. If you have another type of project in mind, definitely reach out, as we do lots of different types of projects.